What's up, guys? Just got down in the garage. We're going to be putting the bushings in the trailing arms, putting the rotors on, probably bolting the dual calipers on. We'll start prepping, pulling the trailing arms out of the car. I can't put the new trailing arms in yet because I don't have the Nerf Tech bushings, but basically gonna get everything prepped, ready to go. So when you get the bushings, press the bushings in, throw the trailing arms in, start plumbing the brake lines and hooking everything up. See how it goes. Alright, so I got these BMW ball joints. I'm going to be putting in lower in the upper spot. I'm going to be replacing the piece of junk rubber ones. Basically, I'm just hitting this in with the socket as much as I could, so then I can use a bigger socket as a cup, use a longer bolt to pull the rest in, so I'm not hammering it all the way through. That's all it is. Long bolt, one socket that fits over the bushing, and the other one big enough for it to go inside it. I can't fit the socket, or I weld down the dual caliper bracket. So this one, I have my dad help me hold it, and I'm just going to hammer it in, and I'm going to support this on the vise, so I'm not putting a ton of stress on that. Hey Chocha! Yo! Alright, so I got all the bushings in. I'm going to throw drilled and slotted rotors on. I'm going to bolt on the Willwood calipers. Don't have the factory calipers yet, still waiting for them to come in. But I'm going to get everything else bolted up, and basically that's going to be it for the trailing arms for now. I'm just going to throw a couple lugs in here just to hold the rotor on for now. Oh yeah. I've already lined these things up and everything, so fitment should be spot on. That looks sweet. Hell yeah. Alright, I'm just going to tighten that up, put the other one together, and then pick this thing up in the air and start going to town on it. Oh, look at that, you even made my coffee. Yeah, all over me. Oh, that's service.
I don't know how much fucking sugar you want it, but I give you a fucking whole gallon of it.
So what we're doing is we got these bolts, the dual calipers that have the, you know, the washer on it that doesn't come off. So instead of buying new bolts, we're just gonna cut off the washer, and so I have at least 2 threads sticking through. Just do it that way. More to go. So now I'm cutting the washer off of it. You can see right there. Now I got about 2 threads sticking through instead of it being flush, which I feel much more comfortable with. Alright, so we're gonna do a little change of plan. Instead of ripping the trailing arms out and having the car sitting on stands while I wait for other pair of bushings to come in and starting the power steering stuff. So we got all new line with some high pressure steel fittings. Got a cooler with 6AN lines on, or 6AN fittings on them. So I'm gonna start by moving the belt, draining the fluid out. I'm gonna pull the pump off because I got to change the valve in it, which is gonna slow down the flow. I'll probably pull the tensioner off automatic because that one shot. I gotta replace it, and then we'll tear out the old cooler, the old lines, and then we'll start lengthening out for the new lines. We'll make them, put them in, change the valve, and put it all back together, and hopefully that should solve our power steering issues. What we're doing is pulling this valve out, placing it with this guy, which is going to slow the flow down to the pump, which can't do this. This guy, we're just going to go in place of that. It's got 6AN on it. It's going to reduce the flow down to like 1.5 gallons per minute. Alright, so I got the valve in, slow the flow down. We got 45 on the pressure line already, which is going to come from the rack. So I got to get the pump back in, get that all bolted back up so I can get the old lines off, put this on the rack, and then lengthen out to cut this and put the 90 on the end for the pump. Alright, pump's back on. I'm gonna lift the car up, start pulling these old lines off. Probably pull the front bumper off so I can get to the old cooler way easier. And yeah, start getting ready to make our new lines. Alright, so as you can see, all this stuff is all wet. This line was seeping. I used the factory BMW pressure line. We just bent it so it'd work with the LS1 pump. But I'm gonna, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm gonna be changing that. That's gonna go to the new power steering, high pressure hose that we got. Probably gonna eliminate this factory cooler because I'm gonna be putting a bigger cooler on it, so I'm not too worried about having this. I'm gonna eliminate this, go from the pump to the rack, from the rack out to the cooler, and then from the cooler up to the reservoir. Now this is gonna be the fitting I'm using for the pressure hose. It's your, factory banjo bolt. We put in this in there so I can run my AN fitting to it, or a copper crush washer on there, and start running my line out. I'm gonna be mocking up some brackets to mount the cooler so I can finish running the return lines. Gotta get that all mounted up before I can lengthen out the rest of the lines and all that, but I'm gonna hop into that. I'm probably just gonna use the old brackets I made up. I just gotta cut it, shorten one, and then I'm gonna have to lengthen the other side because I'm gonna offset it on the radiator. But yeah, I'm gonna get those brackets made up. I'm gonna get the cooler mounted. We're gonna make the last 2 lines to the power steering, and then that's basically gonna wrap that up. So let's get to it. Alright, so I got my cooler mounted up. I basically just used the same brackets that I had before and just modified them. So this one I had to, make a little bit shorter. This one I just basically cut off on what I had before, and then just, you can see, kind of just went up instead of coming across like the old one did. I got my line all marked out. I'm gonna pull it back off. I'm gonna cut it, put this fitting on it, and then I gotta get one more 45 for up at the pump. So basically I'm gonna get this line made. I'm gonna put this fitting on the end of the rest of the line and kind of just run it up to the pump for now, and then I got a 45 coming in, which will probably be here, I don't know, by the end of the week. So then I'll just have to just throw that on, and that'll wrap all that up. So not too bad, pretty, good shape. So happy with how it came out. Like I said, I got 2 more lines to make, and that'll be it. Alright, so that's basically a wrap for this one. Power steering stuff's almost wrapped up. I gotta wait for that one more fitting, like I said. I should have the bushings I need for the trailing arms by end of the week. So next weekend we'll probably be swapping that stuff out. I got some brake fittings on order for to plumb up the dual caliper. And yeah, that's it. So that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. See you guys next one.